everybody, welcome to Shit Happens! Week number 296!
Wow, 296. Wow, that's like a month away from 300.
Yeah, almost 5 years.
I know. That's pretty crazy, actually.
Anybody else done something once a week for 5 years? Aside
That's
from
persistence.
get up and get changed, and most people don't even take a shower that many days
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So today we have a fun topic, and I was having a conversation with a young mom this week, and her oldest son, he was scheduled to have tubes going to be put in his ears, and I had asked why, and she said, well, it worked so well last time. I was like, really? I'm like, okay. So he had tubes previously, twice, but you'd have them again and now again. I said, so the tubes fixed the issue? She's like, well, yeah, it was permanent, it was good. Well, why did the problem in the ear infections come back? It was a question I had. She's like, well, I don't know, because the tubes popped out. So the tubes popped out and the body actually healed from it. The hole closed the way it's supposed to be. And I asked her simply, what's going to happen if these tubes don't work again? Is he going to keep getting tubes the rest of his life? She's like, well, no. The doctor said he'll just outgrow it. Outgrow needing tubes. Then they were also scheduled.
Makes sense.
Is this like when he turns 6 or 60? We don't know. So she also made the comment that he's going to have his tonsils and adenoids taken out. I'm like, well, why would you do that? She's like, well, his tonsils and adenoids are bigger than everybody else's. I said, okay. Well, let's play a little game here.
Makes sense.
Dr. Mike? So, if this little guy was your son, and he was going to have his tonsils and adenoids taken out and tubes put in, because his tonsils and adenoids were bigger than everybody else's. I just asked. I said, if you were to work out most days of your life for 4 years, would your muscles be bigger or smaller?
Bigger,
Okay, why?
because I'm putting forces against them that cause them to have to strengthen to adapt to the forces.
So they're going to be stronger, what you're telling me. Okay.
Should be.
So what are tonsils and adenoids? They are the body's one of the first lines of defense.
It's a way for
For
the
the-
body to get rid of crap in it.
So it's part of the immune system. Is that correct?
Shield.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if this little boy has been sick most of his life, would those adenoids and tonsils have to work harder or not as hard to keep him healthy?
Why would they harder?
Okay. So would they be bigger or smaller than the other kids?
Probably bigger.
Okay.
Survey says bigger.
So I asked, so you're going to take out these tonsils and adenoids because they're bigger, because they're doing their job, and they're better and stronger because he's been sick for 4 years. It's like, well, that's not what the doctor told me. I said, what did the doctor tell you? Well, he needs them out because they're too big. The body's adapting. The body's doing what it's supposed to do. So fortunately, she's pondering this question, and we'll have an answer for you next week.
So
As of right now, all 3 are scheduled.
So clearly the adenoids and the tonsils are not working right because they're too big.
Correct.
But they're still working. So let's say they're working at 40%. They're going to be working at 40% in the body now. In the trash can, they're going to be working 0%. So, that's a win-win, conclusion.
That is correct. I think 40% is better than 0%.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this story turns out. But unfortunately, family will be moving here shortly, and we won't even care for this family a short time. So we will have a chiropractor in Florida for them so they can continue their chiropractic care. But it's a question that needs to be asked by parents because it's just simply not the first response answer. It's like, oh, well, tubes worked last time. Tubes will work again and again and again. When is the last again?
66 to 70% of kids by the age of 3 have ear infection. So we're over half now. That's a lot of sick kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then the ones that do get the tube surgeries within 3 to 5 years old, they're going to have another tube surgery. So I mean, you basically flip a coin: are the tubes going to work? Aren't the tubes going to work? But that's not really, I think, the purpose of us discussing this. I think, you know, like you said there at the end, the reason why parents should ask these questions, like Dr. Matt did, is the fact that you always want to work least invasive to most invasive. I mean, taking out part of the body that was put there for a reason, whether we know the full reason of that or not, could be risky and could have, and does have, long-term effects. You know, whether those effects become symptomatic or noticeable or not, the body is obviously going to be functioning way different, and who knows down the road what that organ or body part could or could not help that person with in their adult life.
And 20, 30 years ago, they took out tonsils all the time because they didn't understand that it was part of the immune system, didn't have a function. And I had a number of kids in my class, I don't know if you guys did too, but they were sick all the time and they had their tonsils removed. And now they're realizing maybe we shouldn't do that as often because they're finding detrimental effects down the road. So.
And the other thing, I remember one kid in my class brought their tonsils in for show and tell because they got to keep them in like a pickle jar. I was like, that is gross. You know, but now looking back at it, it's like, thank you for not taking my tonsils.
Parts are there for a reason. You know, the body's designed to function better. You know, obviously, chiropractically helps the body and restores the body back to a more optimal function. And we recommend getting checked first, like Dr. Sean said, least invasive to most invasive. Start chiropractic. You know, we have options. Want to help the body function better so the kids can live better.
And the great thing with about a chiropractic evaluation is it figures out where the body's at, and then it works with that body compared to only that person's body. And so we don't try to add or remove anything, we don't try to manipulate anything, we simply adjust things back to their proper position based on all the other structures there.
Pretty cool. So,
Which, I mean, when you look at, you know, labeling kids and putting them into blocks and saying this needs to be done, that needs to be done, this needs to be done. 3 to 5 years old, 66% of those kids are getting ear infections. Not good results.
Not ideal.
So not ideal. Something's got to change.
Sorry for the more serious, mundane, monotone.
Yeah.
We can throw it
it's
a little exciting next week. So
yeah.
throw some party favors or something in there in the video.
Now the cool thing is we're still cuckoo for Koca. I mean, Dr. Koca is still cuckoo, and we're still giving complimentary nerve evaluations and consultations. So if you would like to get healthier and update your health levels, give us a call right here.
Come get checked. So, okay. Dr. Mike, anything else to add?
All good.
Okay. Peace out. We'll see you guys next week.
See you next week, shifters.